Picture this. You're standing in the supermarket aisle looking for the best quality extra virgin olive oil. Muscle memory kicks in. You skip right past the cheap stuff and grab the fancy bottle. Tall, dark glass, green leaves on the label, the words imported and extra virgin, stamped in gold lettering. You pay $12 for it, feeling pretty good about yourself. Here's the shocker. A landmark study found that a majority of imported olive oil labeled extra virgin in American supermarkets failed to meet the actual international standards for that grade. That means there's a real chance the bottle you just paid a premium for doesn't legally qualify as extra virgin at all. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the real thing, whether you're shopping in the US or anywhere else in the world. Are most olive oils fake? For years now, you've probably heard some version of the claim that most olive oil is fake, that the extra virgin oil on your shelf might secretly be cut with soybean oil or canola oil, dyed and flavored to fool you. It's a wild claim, and it went viral for a reason. Here's the thing, though. That's not quite what's actually happening. The real story is a little different, and honestly, almost as frustrating. Back in 2010 and 2011, researchers at UC Davis, a top-tier public research university in the US, ran blind taste and chemistry tests on major olive oil brands sold in California supermarkets. The results were rough. The majority of imported oils labeled extra virgin failed to meet the international standard for that grade. But here's the part that matters. In nearly every case, the oil itself was still 100% real olive oil. It just wasn't good enough to earn the extra virgin label. Think rancid, stale, oxidized, made from lower quality olives, or processed poorly. It's not fake olive oil. It's olive oil that got a promotion it didn't earn. So what actually makes an olive oil? Extra virgin? Real extra virgin olive oil is pure, unrefined fruit juice extracted from olives solely through mechanical cold pressing, no heat, no chemicals. Its acidity has to sit under 0.8%, with zero sensory defects. That process is what preserves the antioxidants, polyphenols, and vitamins E and K that make extra virgin genuinely better for you, and why people are willing to pay more for it. Below that, you've got virgin olive oil, still cold-pressed, but with higher acidity and a few minor taste flaws. Below that, refined or light olive oil, which has been chemically treated to strip out defects, along with most of the flavor and nutrients. And at the very bottom, lampante and pomace oil, which are barely food grade until they're heavily processed, definitely not something you want dressing your salad. Every one of these can legally say olive oil somewhere on the bottle. Only one of them is genuinely extra virgin. Why does this even happen? Because olive oil has one of the longest, messiest supply chains in the grocery store. Olives might get grown in one country, pressed in another, blended in a third, then shipped to Italy or Spain just to get bottled and labeled before heading to your local supermarket. Every single one of those hops is a place where freshness gets lost, where a batch of mediocre oil gets blended in to stretch a shipment, or where the paperwork on origin quietly gets a little generous with the truth. Nobody necessarily has to be doing anything as dramatic as secretly dumping in canola oil. A supply chain with that many hands touching the product before it hits the shelf is honestly fraud adjacent all on its own. Is this actually illegal? Okay, so is labeling something extra virgin when it isn't actually illegal or just shady marketing? Both, kind of. In the US, the FDA doesn't require third-party testing to verify an extra virgin claim. Brands can print extra virgin on the label, and nobody's checking their homework unless someone else decides to test it. And in Europe, where a lot of the world's olive oil actually comes from, olive oil has been flagged as one of the most frequently reported food fraud categories by EU authorities. So while true adulteration, olive oil actually mixed with cheaper oils, does happen, it's the exception, not the rule. The bigger, more common issue is a labeling system with almost nobody enforcing it. Can you actually taste the difference? Yes, and this is honestly the fun part. Real, fresh, extra virgin olive oil should taste grassy, a little bitter, and finish with a peppery bite in the back of your throat. That's not a flaw. That's a sign the good stuff, the antioxidants, are still in there. If your olive oil tastes flat, greasy, or like old motor oil, you've found the rancid stuff we've been talking about, and bought yourself some liquid disappointment. I used to think that peppery kick meant I got a bad bottle. Turns out I had it backwards the whole time. Here's how the professionals actually do it. and you can try this at home with any bottle in your kitchen right now. Pour a small amount into your palm, cup your hands together, and warm it up with your body heat for a few seconds. That releases the aroma, then take a sniff before you taste. If it smells like fresh cut grass, tomato leaves, maybe a little bit like green apple, that's a great sign. If it smells like crayons or old nuts, put it down and back away slowly. Quick myth bust. One myth before we move on, since you've probably heard this one. The fridge test, the idea that real olive oil should turn cloudy or solidify in the fridge while fake oil stays liquid. UC Davis actually tested this directly, and it's completely unreliable. Some genuine extra virgin oils stay liquid in the fridge. Some oils cut with other stuff still cloud up and solidify just fine. It depends on the specific olive variety, not authenticity. So skip the fridge, it's not telling you what you think it's telling you. So, does the label actually mean anything? Some of it, yes. Cold pressed is meaningful, it means no heat. Or chemicals were used to extract the oil, which preserves quality. But vague phrases like imported blend or product of Italy printed in giant letters, that's often marketing, not a guarantee. Sometimes oil is grown in one country, shipped to Italy, bottled there, and technically allowed to say Italy on the label even though the olives never saw an Italian hillside. If the origin isn't specific, down to a country, a region, or ideally a named producer, treat it as a red flag, not a selling point. That brings us to the main point of this video. How to actually pick real extra virgin olive oil. Here's exactly what you should have been looking for in the supermarket aisle. First, check the harvest date, not the best buy date, the actual harvest date. You want oil from within the last 12 to 18 months. No harvest date listed at all? That's your first warning sign. Second, look for real certification. In the US, that's the COOC seal, the California Olive Oil Council, which requires annual chemical and sensory testing to earn. Internationally, look for PDO or PGI seals, which guarantee both origin and production standards. Third, dark glass or tin, never clear bottles. Light destroys the good stuff in olive oil faster than almost anything else. Fourth, a specific named origin. A real producer, a real region, not just a flag printed on the label. And finally, trust your taste buds. Grassy, bitter, peppery, that's real. Flat and greasy, even in an expensive bottle, means you were misled. Genuine, well-certified extra virgin olive oil usually runs somewhere between $15 and $30 for a 500 milliliter bottle. If you're paying $8 for a liter with none of these signals present, you're probably not buying what the label promised. So no, your olive oil probably isn't secretly canola oil in disguise. But there's a good chance it's not living up to its own label either, and now you know exactly how to check. Next time you're in that aisle, flip the bottle around before you flip open your wallet. Check the harvest date, look for the seal, and skip anything in clear glass. Have you ever tasted olive oil that just seemed off? Tell me what happened. I want to know if this is more common than people think.